So what is stress? When a situation, pressure or change exceeds your coping abilities, then you have stress. Hi, this is Avisha Avasthi. I'm an empowerment coach, and today in this video, we'll understand what is stress, what happens when you have stress, and how to deal with it. Daily we do so many activities, but we are aware what to do about it, how to manage things when we don't take stress. There are situations in our life, there are pressures that come in our life when we don't know how to cope with it, or it is beyond our management. Then is where you have stress. Stress, we must understand, depends a lot on your perception. Like when you and your friend go on a roller coaster ride, one of you might enjoy it a lot and the other one ends up stressed and frightened. And now you know which one you are. So what exactly happened? This was your perception towards something. So if you have a pre-made notion that then you feel the situation is easy, you're going to enjoy it. It is not a stressor for you. But for some other person, it might be a great stressor. So now this was a short-term stress. It will go with time. And do you know, friends, short-term stress is actually good in a lot of situations. For example, if you take a little stress about your performance for a project in your job or your exam or something, it will help you improve. Like a little stress that you took about something that improved your performance. So a little stress or a short-term stress always helps you to go from good to great. But if that stress is within you for a long time, it turns into a long-term stress, and that stress, my friends, is the real culprit. It's the real problem. You won't believe, people take stress from years and years, and lot of times if one person in the family or one person in the office take a lot of stress, that energy is propagated in other people of the family as well. And if there is a stress in a family, the other members, especially the kids, also learn to behave and react on stress in a similar way. So it is very important to understand stress and the triggers of the stress and to deal with it. What happens when your body and mind is under stress? So when your body is under stress, it starts releasing a stress hormone called as cortisol. So your body shuts down a lot of systems and activates a lot of systems. So basically, your body sends a signal that you are in a danger mode. So the danger mode is on. So there is a system that is called as your sympathetic nervous system. So your sympathetic nervous system gets activated when you are in stress. So what is sympathetic nervous system? Sympathetic nervous system is your fight, flight and freeze response. So what happens? Your body sweeps a lot of unnecessary trivial functions like as digestion, producing reproductive cells, and starts focusing on your heart rate, your breath rate. Your heart starts pumping more blood, and your respiration also increases so as to get more oxygen and expel more CO2. So these are some of the changes that all of a sudden start happening in your body. So now, what happens when all this is happening in your mind and body? Now that you're not in your normal state, your body and mind are also not performing very normally. So your responses are also not very normal. And remember, when you are under stress, you are not in your best mood. You are not performing nicely, and a lot of times people go under guilt. They start judging themselves. So once you are aware that you are under stress, be aware that you will not be in your best mode and you will be not performing very normally. You might feel like choking, you might feel agitated, under pressure or overwhelmed. So for a lot of analysis and decisions that are very easy and obvious for you, you might not be able to take those decisions, and you might not be able to analyze things like you do under your normal circumstances. So now your logical and rational part of the brain stops working. So what exactly is happening in your mind and body? With all these stress hormones releasing, the entire equilibrium of your body gets disturbed. And how does it happen? Because once you are under stress, you start thinking something and you are under stress. So some systems get shut down, some organs start working more, and sometimes after a while you are in a calmer state. So again your body realigns itself. Then again you are under stress. Then some systems shut down and some systems. You are understanding how the entire equilibrium and the working of all the organs get disturbed. So what does this do? This disturbs the entire equilibrium, the functioning of all the organs, the nervous system and everything. With all these stress hormones floating all around your body, sometimes you're fine, sometimes you're not. This, my friends, this is where the exact thing happens for what you're watching this video. The diseases start happening in you. Your some organs start suffering and it starts affecting the entire functioning of the body. So diseases start happening. And if you are under the stress, under those stressors and stressful thoughts for long, then diseases start manifesting. And here where the biggest problem arises. So now what to do? You might say, like, if all this happens, obviously we won't be able to stay calm. So shall we let these stresses do their work, or there is a way to control or change it? Now I'm about to tell you the answer for this. There are two things that we can do. Number one, pre-preparation for dealing with the stress. And number two, dealing with the devil or the stress when it arrives. So friends, pre-preparation is very important, as telling yourself to calm down, to reduce stress is not an easy task. Because when you are under stress and you tell yourself to calm down, then the success rate would be really low. And it is really hard to control your mind with your mind itself when your mind is hazy. So the pre-preparation will help you deal with the stress very nice and more often. So what do we do? The pre-preparation for the stress is just like you prepare your child for a jungle trek. You already tell them what can be the probable, problems that might arise and how to solve them. You gear them up with all the solution of the probable problems. And this is how you need to prepare yourself from the stressors also. So, pre-preparation. Number one, increase sleep quality. So now exactly what happens while you are sleeping. When you are sleeping, your body's relaxation mode turns on. The healing, the repair, everything, the growth cell, most of them happen while you are sleeping. So if you get quality sleep, sound sleep, what is going to happen? Your stress hormones are going to reduce incredibly and your body will calm down and get relaxed. A person whose stress hormones are reduced, who has calmer sleep, who has quality sleep, who has more healing regularly happening in their body, do not get stressed out very soon. So getting a quality sleep is very important. This regulates a lot of hormones in your body and the functioning of lot of organs that might get affected by the stress. Number two, regular exercise. You all know that healthy mind lives in a healthy body. So what exactly happens when you exercise regularly? See friends, while you're exercising, you're pushing your body. So you're giving little stress every day. If your body gets little stress every day through exercise, it prepares itself to deal with stress better. And once you're exercising, your organs are working at an optimum level, your hormones are regulated, and you are less prone to get triggered by stressors. The third thing that is to do is when you make a goal, when you join a job, or you come into a relationship, you adopt a dog, you buy a car or anything. Prepare your mind for all the possible stresses which might come along with that decision. Every decision that you take, we can always think about the probable stresses that might arise. Repeat them in your mind and find the potential solution. Right now, what are you doing? You are pre-preparing your mind for the probable stresses. And when the stress is going to arrive, you'll not be in a state to find the solution. But right now, as you're not in the stressing situation, you can even figure out the solution. And when the situation arrives, your mind already knows what to do. Number four, and this is friends really important and a lot of times we do not pay attention to this. Just think of all the stress response you have seen as a child. What kind of stress responses did your father show up? What kind of stress responses did your mother show up? As children, we tend to pick the stress responses. Maybe your mind is conditioned for a certain set of response when you are under stress because you've seen your mother do that, you've seen your teacher do that, or maybe your sibling do that. So this stress responses was inherited from your family or your environment as you were a child. Acknowledging the reason, acknowledging the why for your stress response gives you an opportunity to change it. Now, while you're not under the stress, you can take a conscious call to change the situation and tell to your mind, reprogram your mind that this is not actually a stress response. This is coming from my father. This is coming from my family. And now you can choose to change the responses. So now the second part, that is dealing with the devil. So how do you deal with the devil or the stressor once it has already arrived? Number one is by deep breathing. So you have to inhale and you have to exhale deeply. Like inhale can be a little slow and exhale deeply. So once you start doing, what exactly happens? Your body starts getting more of oxygen and your functions or your organs start calming down. So your body don't have to, pump more blood and activate certain things and shut certain things down. Already you have started giving a calming response to your body. So this sounds very cliche and normal. You might have heard this a lot of times. But friends, this is a thing that works the most. And once you learn doing it, once you are aware that I have to start deep breathing anywhere you are, don't think of anybody who's watching what is happening, how it will happen. Do not judge. Just take it as a mantra and start. And once you breathe, take a smaller inhale and a larger exhale. And empty till your belly. This is going to help you a lot. Then number two, and a very important thing, I use it a lot, is by saying a keyword. So associate your stress or overcoming the stress with a keyword. It can be your God's name, it can be a typical mantra, it can be a joke or any irrelevant word. So what happens when you come under stress? Remember that word, remember a line, remember a mantra and just start doing it repeatedly. What will happen once you do it? Once you start doing it, your mind starts shifting. So basically, the energy starts flowing where the attention goes. So where your attention was under the stress situation and you're dealing with it, what will happen, how will you do it, and your entire body, flooding with the cortisol hormone, all these things happening, and just shift your focus towards that keyword that you have pre-decided. And you can even share with your family and friends the typical keyword that helps you calm down. So you shift your responses, so at least you'll be able to come into a calmer situation. And number three is rhythmic sequence movements. So, you've heard a lot of people saying jumping jacks. So jumping jacks would help you, or clapping or something. So when you do some rhythmic movements, your body automatically starts calming down and your stress hormone starts reducing. So doing any rhythmic movement like brisk walking, jumping a rope, or doing jumping jacks, or moving backwards, or anything, any sort of exercises or yoga, any physical activity that has sequential repeated movements. Like in a rhythmic movement, when you do, your body gets a response to shift the entire attention towards it, and it starts releasing more of calming hormones, and it is very easy for you to get that. And the number four, that is a very important part, is switching. So what exactly is switching? See, once you are under stress, you might feel the stress more either in your mind or in your body. So if you feel you are feeling the stress more in your body, like your chest feels heavy or you have some, butterflies in your stomach, start working on your mind. Start working on your thoughts. And if you feel you are overthinking, you are flooded with your thoughts and you are not able to do it, that is when you feel your mind is now corrupted, start working on your body, like doing jumping jacks. So you just have to be aware that is it an external game that is harming you more, or it is an internal game. If it is some bodily things, start working on your mind. And if your mind is not cooperating, start doing some physical activity. So friends, these were some really important tips and tricks and ways to help you calm down your stresses. If you really found it helpful, do like this video, share it with your friends, and do subscribe to my channel for similar inspirational content. Thank you so much for watching.